All of a sudden am I signing into chat for? Okay, we're back. We're back. As promised, we're going to wrap up a Power BI project. It is curious that you have to log on to your Gmail account or to some account in order to access, in order to get the. I see this isn't right because I don't have a date hierarchy. Now we may be able to fix that. External tools, Bravo. That's an interesting little package there, isn't it? Oh, here we go. So up here's our dates now. Okay, let's come back over here to the model. Close this, close this. And this now goes up there. What I just used there, it's a really nice tool because having a date table many times a separate table is fairly common. And there's different ways you can do it. You can do a dash and so forth, stuff like that. You can manually create each column by simply going to the date functions column. Uh, or you can use this tool called, what is it called? Bravo. And as you see, it very quickly created a date column for us. Let's come over here and let's kind of take a look at this new. First of all, see here's all of our dates up here. Date, year, quarter. I don't know what your quarter number is. Quarter and year, quarter separate. Year, month, number of months, and so forth. Okay. Now we come back over here. We're going to get rid of this. Okay. Now we should be able to come down here. Huh. That doesn't look right, does it? Where's our date hierarchy? Okay. Now we got the hierarchy. Now we should have the hierarchy up here someplace. Right? What's this? Month? Let's try this. Year, month. Okay. Ooh, secondary axis. Small multiples. Oh, yeah. X-axis is customers. Okay, dates go on the calendar goes on the x-axis, right? Calendar. Okay, so when I was listening to some pseudo preacher in there talk about the Christian hate. Here's the trouble. Yeshua says you will be hated by all nations. For the most, overall, most people don't hate Christians because you really know they only know who a Christian is. So why are we hated? Well, it's because we become more concerned with ourselves and with our buildings and with worshiping our preachers to be hated by man. We do so if we're really fulfilling the Great Commission, we would be hated because we would be snatching people away from the devil and turning them into disciples. But that's not what most churches really do. They build their buildings. They all huddle in their buildings once a week, twice a week. They have their food pantries, but they're not really actively making disciples, and that's the problem. Okay, that's the problem. X-axis, and okay. So it does appear to be working now. Excellent. You can certainly check. So do we have a live stream going on? We do. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, now we're back up and running. Now we're back up and running. I might as well drop by and check on my old friend Data Basics there. Yeah, how's Live stream questions answered. Okay. So why do people expect non-Christian institutions to teach Christian values? Okay. Anyway, here we go.
Trend at a lower level by quarter or month, we need to use the pitchfork.
Yes, if I had home insurance through Hippo, this could have been avoided. Just watch the ad to see why.
Mark and Sam both
Icon or the icon that looks like this. So I'm going to click on it once. It will show me the quarterly trend. Let's go to the monthly trend and explore what is going on. So this is how our pattern is. From Jan, we trend down all the way up until June, and
Okay, so we want to go down to month. This is total customers. Okay. Satan's an interesting character in the Bible, and I don't want to. Oh, hey, David, how you doing? Welcome to my first Prism live stream here. Yeah, I'm uh, in between my religious rants, I am doing some data analytics. Okay, with Power BI. Anyway, this is the first night I'm using the Prism Live software. Okay. Uh, okay, there we are, Prism Live Studio. Uh, it's not bad. It's pretty doggone easy to use. The only thing I haven't found yet is how to schedule a stream in it. That's the only thing. But Prism Live is a streaming software. It's actually based on OBS, it's a little easier to use, and it has at least that's what they say, and it has lots of bells and whistles with it. Let me see some of it. Okay, it's called Prism Live Studio, and you can see they add a lot of interesting features over here. Uh, Prism Camera, Prism Mobile. There's a mobile version of it. Templates, text templates, chats, Prism stickers, and all kinds of stuff. Clock widgets and stuff like that. Uh, like I say, it's it seems to work okay. What happened was, for whatever reason, uh, well, it's based on OBS, It's just they have a few more bells and whistles built into it. Uh, and you don't need stream keys, anything like that. So it's a little easier to use, uh, and it's completely free. But yeah, it is based on OBS. Uh, but what happened is I upgraded to the latest version of OBS, and then I couldn't connect to YouTube anymore for whatever reason. The stream keys and stuff didn't work. So I was looking for information on OBS on YouTube. I came across a video like this, and it's not too bad. The only, like I said, the only thing I haven't figured out is how to schedule a uh, a live stream. Okay, but anyway, so what about yourself? Are you a data analyst or data scientist or a student? What are you up to?
And then we pick up in July, August, and then we go down. Then we are picking up back again at the end of the year. Just keep in the mind that while Awesome Chocolates does sell chocolates, it is a made up.
Oh, let's come back over here. Data visualization. This is Power BI. Okay, so you master's. So what was your bachelor's in? What was your undergraduate program in? Well, thanks so much for thanks so much for the kind words and for watching the videos. Of course, don't forget to click that bell button so you'll be notified whenever I go live. Okay. I, see, the bachelor's of business management. Okay, marketing. All right. Uh, and so, see, where are you as far as your master's? What year are you? Is it 2 more years for a master's plus a master's thesis or something like that? Okay, so it's a total of 3 years. Okay, so so in terms of the business analytic portion, what software are you working with? Using SQL or Python or anything, Power BI, anything like that? No, no, I don't. I'm actually retired. Yeah, I'm 67 years old. Believe it or not, I actually do data analytics for fun. At least so far. I am sort of halfway looking for a job, but I wouldn't say I'm that serious about. I could say yeah, but I retired when I was 62, and I'm 67 now. So I've been retired for 5 years now. I got interested in our programming about 4 or 5 years ago. It was part of my interest in astronomy. I was observing sunspots and counting the sunspots. Then wanted to plot the sunspots, and somehow wound up on R and YouTube, watch a few videos. But yeah, I'm completely self trained. By year, quarter, and month. Rapid Miner. And Tabular. That's a pretty good program. I mean, you really cover a lot of ground there. Certainly Tabular or Power BI. I'm not familiar with Rapid Miner, but RStudio, of course, Python. Okay, good, good. What about SQL? Have you done anything with SQL? Okay, well, well, the good news is SQL is really easy to learn because it's a fairly small language. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, it's all. I actually used SQL like 20 years ago. So I tell people, yeah, I've been using SQL on and off for the last 20 years, mostly off the last the last 18 years, but off and on. But yeah, and I've taken, I've got I've got the Google Data Analytics certification for what's that worth, which isn't much in my opinion. I've taken a couple of classes on Udemy on SQL to get my skills back up to speed. But yeah, it's so I just starts out, I want to do something simple like uh well, a lot of things. Uh, the last thing I did was telemarketing, but also back during the turn of the century, back in the late '90s, early 2000s, I was doing unit systems administration for people like Level 3 out in Colorado. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, so have you done any? I can't think any. What's the word for any interns? Have you done any internships? Oh, very nice, very nice. Congratulations. That's quite a change. Excellent. Who needs internships if your company's going to give you a job, to give you a promotion like that? That sounds great.
Company, and all this data is randomly generated. So what we are seeing is not really a trend but more of a random noise. This is our overall trend. We can add a level of filtering to it to see the trend by, for example, individual product category or a geography. Let's see whether the trend looks like this for all categories or not. So I'm going to select this chart, and in the legend, I'm going to add my product category. This will split the
Okay,
line into three different lines,
that's
one per
nice.
category. So this is my trend, and at a month.
That's kind of a pretty plot. I'm not sure if it's really helpful or not. The data for this isn't actually, supposed it isn't real data. It's for a fictitious company called Awesome Chocolates. And it's just a project I saw on YouTube. It's supposed to take like an hour, but it's taken me like 2 days so far. So this is total customers uh, by team.
Monthly level. If I want, I can go one level down to the daily level, but because at a daily level there could be a lot of fluctuation, it creates more noise than meaning. So to go up to the higher level, we can use the up arrow icon. Now let's just forecast this for the next 3 months. You can add forecasts and trend lines and other things through the analytics option here. From here, we are currently not able to add the forecast. In order to be able to forecast, you need to have only one series on the chart, not three different ones. So I will go here, I will remove the category so that we are looking at the overall customers.
Now we're going to try to do a forecast here, I think.
by month. And now if I go back here, I will find that I have a forecast option. I can enable that and Power BI will add a forecast for the next few months. So I'll change the units from points to months, and then I want the forecast for next 3 months with 95% confidence interval.
Okay, back over here. Points, months. What happens if we skip the first one? Oops. Okay, so what is the correct uh, right, I'll be back, Dave. I'll give me something to drink here. Okay, let's see what this rascal has to say now.
Interval. And when you apply, it will give you the forecast. So the forecast says your number of customers could go down in January.
Oh, okay. So when's this new promotion going to go into effect?
and then they'll stay like that in Feb and March. Just a note of caution when you use the built-in trend analysis or the forecasting features of Power BI. They are purely built on the statistical techniques. So when Power BI says your forecast is looking down or up, it has no idea about your business or your complex real world situation. So this is my total customers forecast. I would like to build a similar forecast for total amount. So I'll control C this chart, control V, and within this chart, I'm gonna change from total customers to total amount. We'll go here, enable the forecast. Now that we have built the forecasting within
Okay, so he said we want to make this uh, total amount. Points, units, months, forecast length, 3 months, 5. So should we bet the business on this forecast here? Or is this more realistic here?
Power BI, let's conclude this part of the tutorial and then move on to the next part where we are going to talk about how to save.
This guy does a lot with Power BI and also some SQL and Excel. He's not a bad. He's a pretty good guy. I mean, he's pretty thorough. He's playing things quite well.
Save and publish our Power BI reports so that other people can read them. Let's go. If you want to share this workbook with others in the organization, then you need to use the publish option of Power BI. In order to use the publish features, you need an online account with Power BI. And this is how Power BI makes money. Let's see what happens when you click on the publish.
Now the trouble is, in order to get an online account for PowerBI.com, you have to have a business email address, and I don't have a business email address. So anyway,
As I have already logged into my Power BI account, it opens up my workspace and asks you, is this where you want to save? Let's select this workspace and put our report there. Our report is now published to the online workspace and I can view it on the cloud platform. It will ask me to log in if I have not already logged in, and eventually opens the report on the online platform. Your pages will be available to you on the left hand side.
Holy smoke, this is a long, what the devil's going on with this guy here?
And you can quickly select that. This view is still assuming that Chandu is using the report. So this is how I can see it, but I can still edit it if I need it. Everything is still interactive, so I can click on this or I can pick a different team and then see the results. How does this report look to someone who is not Chandu? For that, we need to use the share options. So here I have opened the Power BI report on a different browser so that it doesn't have my login setting. And now I am seeing the pages as navigation at the bottom. And I can go to different pages of the report to see. Everything is still interactive, but I'm not able to change the report or change the data set. So this is the power or beauty of Power BI. It gives you a two-tier system where at one level
This is
as
odd.
a
It
data
doesn't actually
analyst
have
you can
anywhere to
build and
comment.
control the report, manage the data and everything, and at other level or other tier the persons who are viewing the report, they can only just view what you have built. So now let us see what happens when your data changes. For the purpose of this, I have given you an extra data file as well. The link for this is also available in the video description. I've already copied the extra data and I'm just going to paste it here now. Notice that this data is for 2022 January. And I will save this file now, go to Power BI, and to get the new data, all you have to do is click on the refresh button here. This will update the data, recalculate all the totals and measures and everything, and your numbers will quickly change. It will also add the January values and then the forecast will be moved further up. If you remember, our forecast was actually predicting that the values will go down, but we had more values in January for both customers and amount. And this is what I mean when I said the forecasting within Power.
Hmm. Enter data.
One who is not Chandu. For that, we need to use the share options. So here I have opened the Power BI report on a different browser so that it doesn't have my login setting. And now I am seeing the pages as navigation at the bottom. And I can go to different pages of the report to see. Everything is still interactive, but I'm not able to change the report or change the data set. So this is the power or beauty of Power BI. It gives you a two-tier system where at one level as a data analyst you can build and control the report, manage the data and everything, and at other level or other tier the persons who are viewing the report, they can only just view what you have built. So now let us see what happens when your data changes. For the purpose of this, I have given you an extra data file as well. The link for this is also available in the video description. I've already copied the extra data and I'm just going to paste it here now. Notice that this data is for 2022 January. And I will save this file now, go to Power BI, and to get the new data, all you have to do is click on the refresh button here. This will update the data, recalculate all the totals and measures and everything, and your numbers will quickly change. It will also add the January values and then the forecast will be moved further up. If you remember, our forecast was actually predicting that the values will go down, but we had more values in January for both customers and amount. And this is what I mean when I said the forecasting within Power BI is simply statistical and it has no idea about your business. To update the online view of your report, you just have to hit the publish again. It will ask you to save and it will give you a
Now,
warning that says, I have already
you
found
can
your
get
data set
a
online. Do
Power
you want to
BI
replace
Pro
it?
account for
We are
like,
just going to replace
I think it's like
this
9 or 10 bucks.
and it will update the online version of your report.
And if
To see the
if I can
updated
use that to
values on the
set up
online report, you just have to refresh your browser window
a
and then
gallery
it will show
of my
you the
Power BI
updated
work, it
values
might
on
be
all
worth
the
it.
pages.
So I've
So
got
now that we have developed
I've
a
got a
solid
tabular
understanding of
gallery.
Power BI, let's talk briefly about how to take your learning forward. One of the biggest challenges when it comes to learning Power BI is many people think Power BI as one big piece of software. But as you have clearly seen, Power BI has separate features or tools to deal with individual problems. If you have data connectivity or cleanup issues, then we use the Power Query to clean the data. If you want to calculate things on your data, then we use the DAX language and Power Pivot to do that. And finally, to tell the stories or build reports, we use the visual layer. So when you are learning Power BI, you should also align yourself against these three layers. I have prepared a detailed one-page PDF of various Power BI resources and channels and books that I personally recommend and use so that you can also learn Power BI. If you would like to get a copy of that, please use the link in the video description below and download that PDF. Thank you so much for watching this lesson. I hope you really enjoyed it. If you enjoyed this video, please share it with one of your friends or colleagues so that they can also learn Power BI and improve their career prospects. Thank you so much. I'll catch you again somewhere else. Bye-bye.
Okay. Power BI Pro. This is what this says.
With nachos, you gotta hunt for the perfect bite, but not with Taco Bell's new $2 nachos. Classic perfect bite.
Yo, Adam Saxon with GuineCube, and in this video, we are going to look at the new premium per user. This is so exciting. All right, let's dig in. If you're finding us for the first time, be sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all the videos from both Patrick and myself. All right, Power BI Premium per User. What is this? This is essentially a new offering inside of Power BI. Think of this as another license type. Well, it actually is another license type that allows folks to have premium capabilities without actually having an actual premium capacity. So from a license perspective, we've got 3 licenses now: Power BI Free, Power BI Pro, and now Power BI Premium per User. The big deal about this is just the lower price point, right? This is really targeted for small, medium businesses. Those folks potentially didn't have the capability to purchase a Power BI Premium capacity at the price tag that entailed. That was more geared for large enterprise customers. With Premium per User, ideally, it's going to be a lower price point that allows individuals to actually purchase this and get the capabilities that Premium offers. In full disclosure, as of the recording of this video with the public preview, the actual price of premium per user has not been disclosed yet. It's anyone's guess. There was a quote from someone on one of our live streams where they said, I'm guessing it's going to be between the price of Power BI Pro and a premium P1 SKU. That's probably a good guess. We are in the public preview period, so it's going to be free for everyone. You can opt into the actual trial itself. Talk more about that in a second, and then just perpetually keep that until general availability is available, at which point then you'll have to decide, is that something that you want to pay for? In terms of the differences between premium per user and an actual premium capacity, there is a link. I'll have it down in the description below for the actual FAQ. And in the FAQ, underneath, there is an actual chart of the difference of features between premium per user and the premium capacity. So the biggest thing that you're probably going to get out of this is the unlimited sharing piece. And we'll touch on that in a little bit in terms of where you're going to actually encounter that. It is a difference and you need to be aware of it. So how do you get premium per user? This is going to be a very similar flow to Power BI Pro itself in terms of the trials and then the application of that license itself. Enough all this talking, let's head over to my machine and actually see what this looks like. All right, we are looking at Power BI. I'm signed in as my main user, and if I go and click on my profile image, you'll actually see that I have premium per user on this account. So I can do everything that I can do with premium per user from a given perspective. So let's head over to a free user. This user is just a free user, doesn't have anything, doesn't have pro, doesn't have anything else. So I can do one of two things to get premium per user. I can click on the image and I can say buy pro now. Hopefully you would also see a try pro now. Let's see what that actually does. I don't want to actually buy. We want to try. So let's go back. If we go to a given workspace, this is for premium per user workspaces. Instead of just a diamond now, you'll see a diamond with the little magnifying glass on it. Or sorry, not a magnet. It looks like a magnifying glass. It's actually a little person icon. So that denotes the premium per user workspace as opposed to just a premium workspace. As a free user, if I go and click on that, I'll get the normal flow that I get for a Power BI Pro trial. But one thing you'll see here in the text, it says upgrade to a premium per user license. So effectively, this is going to give me the premium per user trial license experience. It's just the same flow that we have for a pro trial. When you go and encounter something that requires premium per user, you're going to get prompted to either try it or you've got to buy it. You have those choices. Once general availability is out as well, you'll have the same similar trial experience that you had with Power BI Pro, where you can actually go into Office 365 or Microsoft 365 and actually get a trial block there. It'll give you 25 licenses and it'll be good for 30 days. Most folks are probably going to go down the in-service trial where you'll get 60 days and you can get it with inside of the service for each individual. During the public preview, this will allow you to extend that trial. So it'll perpetually allow you to extend it until general availability. So that's how you're going to keep the premium per user for an individual just ongoing. Once this is in general availability, it'll be a normal license assignment. So you'll see the license block inside of Office 365 or Microsoft 365, and then admins can go ahead and assign that license to a given user. And as it's stated in the FAQ, the premium per user license includes all the capabilities of Pro as well. So you don't need to have Pro and premium per user. You can just have premium per user. All right, let's talk about workspaces, right? Because I mentioned this premium per user workspace. Let's head back to my machine and take a look at that. All right, so I'm back on my main user and I have a workspace already, but let me just go ahead and create a new workspace. And one thing you'll see here is I can assign premium capacity, but this isn't going to let me do this for premium per user on workspace creation. You're going to have to create the workspace first and then assign it to premium per user after the fact. So let's go ahead and save this. And then once I've created the new workspace, then you go into settings, you'll see the premium tab. And when I go to premium, you'll see premium per user in the list. And so we can assign it to there. If you have other capacities, you'll see other capacities listed here, but then you will see premium per user as well. So I can just assign this. I'll get my XMLA endpoint if that's enabled. And then it's just any other workspace. So let's go ahead and hit save. This message calls out the fact that only people with the premium per user license will be able to access this workspace. That's an important piece here. And I mentioned before that there's a big difference here about the unlimited sharing. With premium, if a workspace is assigned to regular premium capacity, anyone can access the content in that workspace, whether it's free, pro, whatever. If you have a premium per user workspace, only folks with that premium per user license will be able to access that content. That's a huge difference, one that you need to understand. This is not something where free users are just going to be able to hit it and get to that content. So just be aware of that, be mindful. Anything where we had that free sharing as part of premium capacity, that does not exist with premium per user. So I'm going to continue. Bam. One thing you'll notice here now is I've got my diamond icon with the little person there, not a magnifying glass, a person. And then we can just go ahead and create the workspace as necessary. And I can add folks to this and just take advantage of those capabilities of premium. So AI, paginated reports, model size, all of that. There are some administration pieces of this. If you're familiar with Power BI Premium, you'll know that you had all these capabilities to manage settings of workloads and things of that nature. That doesn't exist with premium per user, but there are a couple of items that the Power BI add.
Well, we're in the fourth revolution. The industry is changing by wanting more.
Yo!
Does the share can with Pro, can I create a public gallery to share a perspective? So intelligent. Yes, crap. You know, tragically, uh, John Denver created suicide. He's apparently going through, if I recall, a rather unpleasant divorce, and he basically flew his plane into a side of a mountain, if I recall properly.
The rules of the church are clear, Father. Only male clergy may perform an exorcism.
She wants to learn.
Classic movie fans, Rick 9G here. Thank you and welcome to my Monsters and Alien special for this Halloween season. Now last year, if you remember, I did a monster special, a Rick 9G Monsters special with many different classic movies from the Universal Monster era. This year, I'm gonna continue that, but also include some classic Alien movies. Today we're going to be talking about The Day the Earth Stood Still from 1951. Now, I will talk spoilers, I will talk about the plot of the movie and what happens and so forth, so if you don't want it spoiled, make sure to watch the movie before this, or you can just watch it and then watch the movie afterwards, and I think you will still...
You know, it seems to me what happened. The storyline here is that as an advanced civilizations come to the Earth, they said, you know, we're going to destroy Earth unless you can prove yourselves, prove that you need to exist or something like that. Or they offer, or they can answer a riddle or something like that. And apparently, this little girl actually winds up coming up with the answer of the riddle, and the Earth has changed, is saved, unfortunately.
still enjoy anyway. But I'm going to talk about a lot of fun facts about the actual movie and a pretty mind-blowing secret that pretty much wasn't revealed for decades. So let's look at the video and find out what you want to know about this movie. Again, there will be spoilers ahead, so be forewarned. Now, traveling at a mind-boggling speed of 4,000 miles an hour, an unidentified flying object zooms in from deep space. Now, it penetrates Earth's atmosphere and it lands fairly smoothly in Cold War era Washington, D.C. Now, military forces encircle the craft, and a peaceful intergalactic ambassador, Klaatu, comes out from the mysterious vessel. And he's accompanied by a silent yet mysterious robot that has unimaginable power. His name is Gort. Now, he was here to witness firsthand how hospitable Earthlings are. Now, the sophisticated humanoid declares that he comes in peace. However, he needs to assemble the world's greatest minds to hear his warning and a definitive ultimatum. Now, is Klaatu a messenger of humanity's doom, or is he there to save it? I want all of you to let me know your thoughts, what you think of the movie below, but I'm going to go into a lot of really fun information, including this decades-long, essentially secret of how they made the craft open up. I mean, again, using 1951 tech, no CGI, nothing like that. It's pretty mind-blowing. Now, one of the most interesting parts of the movie for me was the robot Gort. Now, Gort, who's the man inside? The actor's name was Locke Martin. Now, Locke Martin was the doorman. Yeah, you guessed it. The doorman from Grauman's Chinese Theater in Hollywood, California. But the reason they cast him was because of his nearly 7-foot height. These are images of him compared to someone of pretty much around 6 feet, 5'8" height. So it's pretty mind-blowing to see him. Now, however, Locke Martin was not a physically strong man, and he could not actually carry the actress Patricia Neal. So they had to be aided by wires. You can even notice the wires in the shots from the back where he's carrying her. And it's actually a lightweight dummy that's in his arms, not Patricia. Now, he also had difficulty with the heavy suit, Gort, the actual suit itself, and could only stay in it for about half an hour at a time. So it made shooting his scenes very challenging. Now, when they were making the movie, the Army refused to cooperate after reading the script. In fact, they didn't like that the Army was painted in a negative light, so the studio then approached the National Guard. They had no problems with appearing on screen, and they gladly offered their cooperation into appearing in the film. That's really awesome. Now, it's really ironic to think Patricia Neal had such a great impact in this movie. She even admitted that in interviews, she was completely unaware during filming that the film would be looked at so well by the audience and that it would become one of the greatest science fiction classics of all time. She assumed that it would be just one of the, current trashy flying saucer movies, and she found it difficult to keep a straight face while she was saying her lines. Made it difficult for them to film the scenes. They had to redo them over and over, but that's mind-blowing to think that she never knew the impact the movie would have on audiences. Now, Michael Rennie played Klaatu, that is the humanoid alien in this movie. One of the reasons why they cast him was that he was generally unknown to American audiences. Later, he would play the Sandman, one of the villains in the Batman 60s television show with Adam West. However, coming back to this movie, he would be more readily accepted as an alien since these audiences didn't really know him. Now, the studio head, Zanuck, had shown the film to Spencer Tracy, who's eager to play the role. Now, the producer, Blaustein, objected, saying that the audience would have numerous expectations about the character upon seeing an actor of such high regard emerging from this flying saucer. Now, Blaustein knew that Zanuck had the ultimate control of the film, and even if he insisted, Blaustein would either have to resign or make the movie in an unsatisfactory way. Fortunately, Zanuck agreed and Rennie was cast instead, and I'm so glad that he was cast in this role. Now, you'll notice that a lot of shots were used between Washington, D.C., and some of the close-up shots of the actors. Now, in fact, they used doubles whenever you saw Klaatu and Bobby, the little boy, in the long shots with them in Washington, D.C. The reason is because none of the principal cast ever went to Washington, D.C., and the scenes with Klaatu and Bobby at the Lincoln Memorial and at Arlington Cemetery were shot in front of background screens using footage shot by a second unit crew in Washington, D.C. Wow, no one was the wiser that this was going on. I know a lot of you may look at the flying saucer and think, well, what was that spaceship made of? Was it made out of aluminum, stainless steel, certain type of metal? Well, no, Hollywood fooled you. It was made of wood, wire, and plaster of Paris. And now I'm going to talk about probably the part that you're most waiting to see. Now, if you notice when the spacecraft first lands and then it opens up with that sophisticated ramp system, you can see that there are no seams visible to see where the door is. Now, that's hard to do, right? Especially with metal, because there always will be gaps in any door, any window, right? There are always gaps, but they thought of something and it was pretty genius, especially for being 1950.
So this is this week's Tidy Tuesday data set. Tidy Tuesday is a weekly sort of data science challenge by the R for Data Science community. It's hosted on GitHub. This week's one of it's about yarn, not like not like a story, but like yarn as in knitting yarn. Okay. See, and this is called and the site is called Rivalry. Okay. Then there's a package called Rivalry RY, but we're probably not going to do that. We're probably going to come over here. Uh, okay. What we're going to do, we're going to upload this to a SQL Server database. I'm not going to do a GitHub with this. I'm just on a project. Okay. Okay. What I'm going to do, I'm actually going to upload this to a SQL Server database and go from there, I think. So, back over here. And janitor. There's 100,000 rows there. And how many? Now, we can look over here now. Machine worshipable, true or false. Maximum gauge. Sort of, it's interesting here that there's no dates here. So there are some. So what are we interested in this case? Are we only interested in the ones that are currently active? Medallion Stallion is in the house. Medallion Stallion. So, nice thing about this is, so there doesn't appear to be anything in that column that should cause us any problems. Okay, but we'll see here. All we're going to do is, uh, since the column names look clean, is just go ahead and try to upload the data. Okay, let's just take a quick look here. So if zero is false, and this is true, let's come over here. Let's do a quick count. false 62,000. So false 0 means it's false or they have been discontinued. Okay, good.
Yeah, they took it down. Someone made a flight delay data set where they just copied my data set and renamed it. The audacity of some people just to take our work that we spent a whole stream working on and just copied it. I want to see if I can find the post there. Someone was responding to my message I posted on it, and it was kind of a funny back and forth. Let's see it. This flight delay prediction data set. Comment. You took my data set. You took my data set. You took the old version. You didn't change the name of the CSV, and you produced the day after I created my data set. So this is just 1 month of data because it's incorrect. And then you renamed it, and you didn't even change this. You got a new follower, to Caro. So shame on you. I mean, I don't mean to call people out, but I am kind of calling them out. Shame on you. Why are you doing that? You're gonna make your data set trendy. Very cool. So I just put here, hey, nice data set. I think you copied mine. And then data labs, I think, plans out. Let's see the chat saying. I'm saving up for a G. The machine learning approach I did on it, just did projects. Yeah, I think the machine learning I haven't taken it personally because I already knew about machine learning at that point, but
Okay.
yeah,
There's
it
a
looks like it pulls all this stuff out. It says we have new project opportunity as soon as it hit custom CPM prediction. It said 1 to 12 days, so we should be able to get a better estimate. I'll let you know when you're going to.
so
So it's in transit.
uh,
Wow, that's good evening. Everyone ETSW says. Lewis says, bro, I'm gonna put the kids to bed before get started with the chess stuff. Okay, go do it. I just put the kids to bed too. I mainly just supported my wife who does all the heavy
okay. So there's a Python guy, a pretty good guy, who goes by the handle of Medallion Stallion, and he's talking about the fact that. And I saw him do part of this project. He posted, went to Australia, put together this flight data set, and posted it to Kaggle, and someone pilfered his data set, copied it, renamed it, but didn't rename the CSV file. And this person's claiming that this his project now. That's true.
and I put it on a website. So it's not like I did anything that crazy. We just put some work into getting it organized, put it in the right format, writing the description, all that stuff. So it is a little bit of sort of all right, so here's the new data set.
That kind of sucks, the big one. Although, as he pointed out, the original data wasn't his. It's actually what's called part of the New York Flights data set, and it's part of Tidyverse. That's one of the data sets that comes with Tidyverse. Okay, he did some cleanup with it and stuff like that, restructured it, and he posted it up to So it's not really his data, and so but he's still kind of a little bemused, I guess, that this person copy his data set, not even rename the file, and give it a different name and claim it for themselves. No. Okay. Okay. So this is saying I'm having nobody observe this right now. That's your old server. And so you can see it. We're connecting. One of the nice things about okay, data basics over here.
Involving games. So let's go into this week in chess and then PGMs. And let's just take one of these. So each PGN file contains a full week of the top chess games. The games are separated like this. So you have like metadata up here, right? Metadata can contain these fields, doesn't have to contain these fields. But then down below, it contains the actual moves of the game, and then
Data basics on database is a promising young data analyst. Uh, he actually has a job working with SQL, believe it or not. Very talented young man, and he's on Medallion Stallion. So I will say if you are interested in R programming or and Python programming, Medallion Stallion on Twitch is one of the people I recommend. He's very helpful, very knowledgeable. See, this is all false. Let's do something a little funky here, shall we? Okay. Let's replace Okay, so what we want to do here is we're going to take this and we're just going to change it to text. Okay, notice it changed it to text and it also made it lowercase. But now we'll come over here. We're going to change this discontinued. Okay, now is that right? False means it's okay. I may have this backwards. Okay. Penguins. All right. There you go. Let me see something. So do we have a timer someplace? I can tell how long we've been online. Oh, there we go. 1 hour, 48 minutes. There we go. So false means it has not been discontinued. Okay. False means it has not been discontinued. We're going to change this type to text. Come over here, replace values. Available. right? Because that's false. True means it has been discontinued. Available, discontinued, both more. And null. We got quite a few things here. Yarn weight crochet gauge. Naki. So this is all null. So we'll start with this right here. Yeah, that crazy Hikaru Nakamura. 5 times, I think 5 times U.S. chess champion. Former, I think, second ranked player in the world. To be, who would have thought when Hikaru Nakamura a few years ago started streaming on Twitch that he'd be averaging 10,000 viewers a day per stream? You heard me right, 10,000 viewers per stream. He single-handedly has changed chess. I mean, the World Chess Championship doesn't get that many views. And the thing about it, he streams like 6 or 7 hours a day. And I'm not even sure if he takes any time off, like a day off or something like that. As far maybe he does, but anyway. So the purpose of this, or the porpoise of this, as some would say, would be to can we do a row count? New measure.
the thing about this opening field is I don't think it's. I think that it's up to whoever wrote the text of this to determine how detailed they wanted to make it. So there also is.
Most of this is really probably fall into the category of
How's that data science life on a Tuesday? But it's going great. How's your data science life? See, this is not take so long to just show me the columns. So we also have this ECO. What's the ECO?
okay.
ECO is the Encyclopedia of Test Openings.
So what we want to know is
Openings.
here.
If I look at ECO, your value counts on this, it's a little bit less actually up to interpretation of browse PCM. So
Okay.
ECA,
So we're going to say
yes,
ID.
more defined. Like A always starts with D4, B always starts with E4. And then they're kind of grouped together. Candidates, and all these different volumes of them. Does anyone have a
Okay.
discontinuous?
So this is a count of the continued and discontinued. See, there hasn't been that many
Or is it a book that you buy?
discontinued.
So what's laptop is bad with data science, whichever one you think you can get bad with no problem. To me, laptops are kind of like smooth and lightweight, easy to move around with. You know, nasty machine like a desktop that you can just SSH into. Is it Linux running on that bad boy? Or if you want to easily get a Mac, that's my opinion.
Okay. Gauge advisor discontinued machine washable. So let's take a look at machine washable.
So does this actually has a
Okay.
this. But let's see if
Machine washable.
okay, so let's go to openings. So this is Sicilian. If I query or happening
Well, this is annoying.
Sicilian,
Uh,
hey, welcome to the family ox. And then I do ECO, and your value counts on this.
true, this is washable. False, this isn't. But why do we have so many things here? It's not. It's not that.
It has a bunch of different ECO openings.
Is there?
So B23 here is within the Sicilian.
This for the fun. Let's just take a look at a table.
I think we should go with the normal.
Then let's go with the yarn company.
What is this? C15, C16. These are all like almost identical with somebody using this one. Alright, MS. So let's go to user openings.
Oh, let's do this.
Let's group by ECU.
We just want to do a count, a row count, real quick.
Group the openings for this unit. Destination. Go 1 through 10.
100,000.
Get a column with the first 8 names and group. That's good. Point. But I think openings like really ends early on in some go further than if you're using this on an ECO, probably is going to be better than that, but I don't know for sure.
So apparently, yeah. So that means these numbers aren't really right then. Let's try columns again. We're going to put on the x-axis, we're going to put field. We're going to put name. Your axis. Okay, so this isn't bad. So let's do this. What happened to over here? New measure. Okay, quick Bible detour here. My dad's listening to I think it's called Turning Point, maybe ministry or something like that. And he's talking about the woman at the well, who, by the way, the Catholic, by the way, I've heard the message. The Catholic Church has reversed its teaching. It's tradition, not teaching, has reversed its tradition. That's existed for who knows how many centuries. That Mary Magdalene, the woman at the well, Mary Magdalene was in fact was not a prostitute. Okay. Now, to me, the interesting thing about the story of the woman, the Samaritan woman, is Jesus only says to you, you have been married 5 times and the man and not your husband. That's all he says about her life. Yet when the woman goes back, she says to her other Samaritans, "I met a man who told me everything. Said what is it? Who told me everything about my life." So her whole life, sadly, has consisted of 5 failed marriages. Pretty sad, huh? Now there are some who would try to say, well, she's a prostitute. No, she's not a prostitute. Or she's an adulterer. No, she's not an adulterer. Okay, there's nothing to suggest that in Samaria, adultery is treated any different than it was in Israel and Judah. Okay, if she was an adulterer, no one would marry her. You know, if nothing else, even if she wasn't stoned to death the first time she was convicted of adultery, no one would marry an adulteress. Okay, so no, she wasn't an adulteress. She was this poor woman who encountered the living Christ, the living Torah. You know, what she encountered was nothing less than the living Torah. Because that's what Yeshua is. He is the Word made flesh. She is the Torah made flesh. He's the perfect. He shows us how to perfectly keep the Torah. Okay. Okay. So let's try this again. Uh, so the x-axis is hmm. Okay. That little count function there really worked well, didn't it? Okay. Is there something else we can combine with company count maybe? Now the interesting thing about Samaria is that Samaritans still exist in the land of Israel. They're a very, very small minority. I mean, they're probably not even 10,000, maybe only 4 or 5,000 people, but they're a very small minority. And at one point, they actually put out an international call for women to come and marry their men because there was no woman they could marry. And they were literally, if you want to see what at this point, there could be an example of a modern extinction. Okay. So essentially, what we're doing, we're plotting categorical variables. Okay, so let's come back up here. Get rid of that. Oh, what about so essentially what we've done here is basically basically what I've done, what you see me do a lot of times in R. That is doing some very basic categorical variables, plotting categorical variables, looking at counts and stuff like that. So this is really quite good. So true means it's washable, false means it's not. Okay, and again, this up here. Now, when I was in Israel, we didn't go to Samaria. Now, the preacher just pointed out that Samaria only recognizes the first 5 books of the Bible. Well, that shouldn't be a surprise because we know that the Sadducees were the same way. Now why they reject the rest of the Bible? Well, probably because of all the prophecies, and because all the prophecies point to point to point to Jerusalem, and they don't recognize Jerusalem as being the center of the world. So we got 4 examples of actual size. I can span this out. So let's shrink all these. So machine worshipable, you can see there's more machine worshipable than unworshipable. This is the largest companies over here. Okay, we're going to save this. Chindu, not Chindu. You know what, folks? This day started out a bit of a challenge when switching from. So most of the ones are worshipable, although this includes some discontinued yarns also, right? Hmm. Let's select this. If we select this, so this is kind of nice. This gives us an overview of the yarn that is currently still in production. Okay, so this is more categorical variable type of stuff. And how many times do I harp on categorical variables? Counts, in the plot of counts. And this is a very good example of that, in my opinion. Anyway, this does conclude tonight's live stream. I'm actually pleased with the way it ended. Uh, so anyway, this is the conclusion for tonight's live stream. I will see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, okay?